Hello everyone, I hope you're all having a fabulous Monday. Today I'm coming at you with our weekly Minks Monday Q&A. Before we get started, let me share the bag that I'm currently rocking, and it is this cutie, the JanSport Right Pouch that I still love. Alright, so grab your coffee, grab your tea, let's start your workout, let's go to work, let's do your laundry, whatever it is that you do, come join me. We have some awesome topics to cover today. Starting with the first question from Aileen Marotta. Hopefully I said that correctly. If a friend of yours asks to borrow one of your bags, would you say yes? Or would you say no? If you say no, how do you say it politely without hurting her feelings? This is a tough question, and I know it all depends on the type of relationship that you have with that person. There are some people that have the type of friendships that they end up swapping clothing, they end up swapping handbags, cars, no big deal. If something happens to it, I'll take care of it type of situation. And then there's also other friendships, other relationships where both parties are maybe a little bit more reserved to lend each other their items. And I know that for me, it's usually always a no, but if I was to lend my items to my friends, I know that they would care for them even better than they would care for their own items. And accidents always happen. There might be a stain, they might be caught in the rain or anything like that. And if that was the case, I know that they would end up rectifying whatever it is, whatever damage they ended up doing. But that's not always the case, right? We have, there are people, again, that have those friends that don't really see our love of handbags the way that you and I do. They end up just kind of, oh, it's a bag, I'm going to use it like this, I'm going to use it like that. And when it comes to that type of relationship, like I said, I will say no, because I don't want it to cause strain on the friendship. And even though it might be something small as far as just lending a bag back and forth, it can have a lot of strain on the relationship. And what I end up doing, once upon a time, I had someone ask to borrow a bag of mine. She didn't care for her bags whatsoever. She didn't care for her car. It was just kind of like she used them just to carry, their items. And a lot of people end up doing that. Like I said, there's not a lot of people out there that are handbag crazy like we are, right? We get each other. And I remember when she said, hey, Minnie, let me use your bag for blah, blah, blah. And I said, girl, you're crazy. I don't think so. And I said it with a type of humor, a type of lightness, so that it didn't make the situation a bigger deal than it should have been. You know what I mean? And she was like, come on, I'll take care of it. I'll do this. And I was just like, no, there is no way. I've seen how you treat your bags. Can you imagine you treat my babies this way? And by just being able to have a little bit of fun with it, it really took the pressure from the question that she was asking me. It was a loaded question, right? You're kind of, in my mind, I'm thinking, oh my God, what am I going to say? But automatically, the humor came out, and it made the situation a lot better. She's like, whatever, you're so lame, blah, blah, blah. And then she kind of moved on, and she didn't ask me for, to use my bag ever again. So for me, it's being able to add a little bit of lightness, add a little bit of, maybe not humor for everyone, but you can add a little lightness to your response. So it doesn't sound like it's a straight up no. Are you kidding me? Or anything like that. Because when it comes to that, they might be more focused on how you answered than the question that they're really asking. You know what I mean? So it ended up working out perfectly for me. But I also feel that being able to be honest with your friendships or with your relationships or with whoever it is that's asking the question is really important, because I feel that they'll really be able to understand and be able to respect your wishes even more so if you're honest. Because let's say that you end up saying, okay, go ahead, and you really wanted to say no, and they end up doing something to the bag, and they're just kind of like, oh, sorry, I got to stand on it. Hopefully you can get it out. It will cause a rift. And by you standing your ground and being able to say no, because I know how you treat your bags, or maybe you don't want to say that. I had a really great, relationship with my friend. But you can say something like, no, there's no way. You know how paranoid I am. I couldn't do it. I'd be worrying about it. I love my bags, or anything like that. And I think that that'll end up helping out, because you're being upfront, you're being honest, and you don't have to worry about the bag, you know what I mean? So like I said, every relationship is different. Every friendship is different. But for me, it worked out with humor. It worked out with lightness, and keeping the conversation light. And it really deflected what she was asking me. But just being upfront and honest and saying, I couldn't do it. I'm too paranoid. I couldn't do it. No, sorry. And just leave it at that with a smile on your face, I think would make the situation a lot better. So hopefully that was able to help. Next question from Megan Sullivan. I think my next Louis Vuitton is going to be an Alma BB. I thought I wanted Damier, but recently tried it on in the store, and all they had in stock to show me was the black epi with silver hardware, which now I really like. So now I'm torn. Thoughts? Great question. And here I have the Alma BB and Damier, so we have a little bit of eye candy. I do love this bag for a few different reasons. Number one, it's Damier. Number two, it has that stunning red interior, and it makes for a carefree handbag. I will have to say, even though I don't own the epi in black with silver hardware, there are a few things that I really love about the bag. Number one, it does have an understated beauty. I feel that between these two, I feel that that bag is a little bit easier to transition from day to night. Not that you couldn't do it with this one, but with that one, I feel that because it has that classic look, it might be a little bit easier to carry to formal events or to formal evenings or anything like that. So again, the understated beauty is a really nice detail that it has. Also, it's very carefree because it's epi, so you don't have to worry that it's going to get scratched up or anything like that. And you can end up using it in any type of weather. And another thing, probably the biggest perk between the two is a $390 difference. And what I mean by that is this one retails for $1,200 here in the States, and the epi one retails for $1,590 if I'm not mistaken. So this one is mostly canvas, whereas that one is an all leather handbag with the stunning microfiber interior that kind of elevates the bag a little bit more. So it's not too big of a price difference for an all leather bag and a canvas bag. Either one of them are great choices. And I will have to say that when it comes to epi, I appreciate the silver hardware more than if it had gold hardware. With gold hardware, I prefer it on canvas pieces. But with epi, I think that it makes for a really nice combination. So I don't know if that's helping out because I'm giving you pros on either one, on each one, but I don't think you can go wrong with either choice. Both of them are beautiful, and both of them are just, such a joy to be able to use because they are small, but they fit so much. So hopefully that was able to help, and good luck in deciding which one you end up going for. Next question from LV Lux RX. I recently went to Vegas and lost one of my Chanel earrings. It must have fallen out in the hotel room as I was putting my other jewelry on. I still have the other earring to the pair. They were my favorite earrings. What do you suggest I do? I am so upset. I am so sorry that happened to you, especially to your favorite pair. I think that you can end up calling customer service, or you can go into the boutique, and since you already have one of the earrings, they might be able to order you the other one. I'm not sure on the pricing. Usually with Chanel jewelry or fashion jewelry, we already know, how, they do have pretty price tags just for gemstones. So I don't know how much just getting the other pair to your earrings would end up being, but hopefully they'll be able to get one for you. You also have another option, something that I usually do with my earrings. Now I know this might not be for everybody, but when it comes to earrings, I also lose them very easily. Earrings and bracelets for some reason. It's probably because I'm always messing with my hair, who knows. But I end up turning my earrings into brooches or into pins, and that way I can use them on my jackets, I can use them on my sweaters, and I still have something that I really like to use. So if they were my favorite pair of earrings, or if they were a pair of earrings that I ended up using quite a bit, if I end up losing one, I still have the other one that I can end up incorporating into my wardrobe. So for example, of course, these aren't Chanel earrings, but just to give you guys an example, I have this pair of red bows. I love them. They are red. They are sparkly. We all know how I feel about this. But I kept on, I think I had 4 pairs of these. Don't judge me. When I really like something, I'll go get multiples of it. But you can end up using needle nose pliers, and you can cut off the backing of the earring. You can just kind of minimize it a little bit and just turn it into a brooch. And what I end up using is these little guys. It might be hard to see, but these little tabs, these little plastic tabs that are on the back of the earring so that they don't fall off, those seem to be the best ones to use when I end up turning these into brooches. Of course, if you have, like for example, if you want to use a not a jean jacket. If you want to use a very thick jacket, it might be a little bit hard just because the posts are so small. But that's what I end up doing. I take needle nose pliers, I cut off the posts a little bit, and then that way I can rock them with, with my outfits. Like I said, it's not going to be for everybody, but I don't want to, sometimes I don't want to have to pay to find another pair of earrings, or to, to get the other earring that's missing to the pair. And I'm able to save a little bit of money, and again, I'm able to still incorporate it into my lifestyle. So that could be an option that you can do. I think that it might be a little bit stressful to take needle nose pliers to the back of a Chanel earring. I know I would be hyperventilating, but like I said, this is just a suggestion if you want to save a little bit of money and still be able to rock your favorite Chanel earring into a brooch. So hopefully that ends up helping out. But yeah, these little guys right here, I don't know if it's going to be able to capture it or not, but those guys seem to work out the best. Or you can take a, is it a thumbtack or not a thumbtack? You know, the push, the push brooches. I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but those you can also end up putting onto the earrings. So turn the earrings into brooches seems to be the best solution for me. So hopefully it ends up helping you out. If not, I wish you all the luck in finding or in getting the other replacement for your pair. But great question. All right, next one from Ruby Kalunga. Hopefully I said that correctly. I was wondering if you recall which debit credit cards the Paris Louis Vuitton took. I only have one credit card, Visa. However, I'm looking into signing up for Discover, but I do not find much information regarding if Louis Vuitton in France takes Discover cards. Any insight is greatly appreciated. Wonderful question. I believe that unless the Discover card is linked to a MasterCard or a Visa, then you're able to use it outside of the US, if I'm not mistaken. If I am, please correct me. Let me know in the comment section down below. But I know that they take all major credit cards. So American Express, MasterCard, and Visa. When I end up traveling overseas, I always end up using my American Express. That's the only credit card that I use because it doesn't charge me any type of fee. Usually with some of the other cards, they'll end up charging you 1%, 3%. It all depends. So you have those foreign transaction fees, but American Express does not charge me foreign transaction fees, which really makes the savings a lot greater. There are different kinds of American Expresses, of course, so some of them will charge you foreign transaction fees, but others won't, so I would just take a look at that. There's another one that a lot of people end up using, and that's Capital One. Capital One, the Visa, they end up using that for travel. I know a lot of people have told me that they've had great success with that one as well. I'm not sure if that one charges you foreign transaction fees, but as far as Discover, from what I remember, they don't take Discover. And I think I've read in a few different forums that that's one of the cards that they don't end up taking, again, unless it's linked to a MasterCard or a Visa. So hopefully that was able to help. And if you're going to Paris, then I wish you the safest of travels and happy shopping. That is awesome. Next question from Suzanne Hull. I found your 6 steps to buying pre-loved really helpful. Carrying on from that theme, I was wondering what your process is for getting a pre-loved bag authenticated. This is a great question. I think I'm going to do a video on pre-loved and on authentication services. That way, if, I can give you guys a little bit more info. All right. So when it comes to getting something pre-loved, I have 2 go-to services that I trust implicitly, and I have always had great success with them. The first one is Etinceler. I know I'm saying it wrong. I always say the name of this company wrong, but when it comes to Chanel, I always end up going to them. Like I said, I've had great success, and they have a lot of different options that you can choose from. They have an email where it tells you that the item is real. They also have different pricing as far as if you need an authenticity, if you need a paper of authenticity, if you need something saying that it's not as stated, like if it's for eBay or if it's for PayPal, if you need some type of documentation, they provide that as well, of course at a fee, but I feel that their fees are pretty reasonable, and I also like their turnaround time. I think it takes at most 2 to 3 days for them to answer back, where some other authentication services might take a little bit longer. And sometimes when it comes to dealing with with eBay or with PayPal or anything like that, time is of the essence, and you can't really wait around for a week or 2 weeks to hear back from some of these companies. So this particular company, Etinceler, I think that's how you say it. Like, I will put the name of it on the description box below because I butcher it every single time. And anytime anyone asks me, I always, sometimes I say Eclair because that's what it looks like when I see it. So that company I've been using for years. The other one is real authentication. And when it comes to authenticating, they have by far the fastest turnaround time. At most, you're waiting 24 hours to hear back from them to see if your item is authentic or not. And you can also ask them for a little bit more detailed information. And they also end up providing things like, this is why it's not authentic, because it has this type of stitching, because it has this type of hardware, it has this type of design. I mean, they go into precise details that really explain why the item is not authentic. So I love that. It's not just saying, oh, by the way, it's not authentic. That's it. You know what I mean? No, I want to know, how is it not authentic? What is it about it? So that way, in the future, if I'm looking for something, then I know what to look out for. You know what I mean? And I know that their pricing also varies depending on what it is that you're looking for, but they also have, I think they have competitive pricing to everyone else, but their turnaround time and their customer service makes them one of the best companies to deal with when it comes to getting your items authenticated. So those two, Eclair or Etinceler. I don't know. I'm so sorry. If any of you are watching this that know how to say it, my apologies. I'm not trying to laugh, but I always butcher it. And like I said, the other one, real authentication, awesome customer service. Both of those companies, I trust them implicitly. So hopefully that was able to help. All right, next question from Lindsay T. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Still on YouTube? Great question. Okay, so where do I see myself in 5 years? That is a loaded question. You know, I don't know necessarily where I see myself. As far as, living, where I'm living, I see myself possibly living out of state or possibly moving up to Northern California just because I can't stand the heat here in Southern California. I know, I always complain about the weather. What's new? But when it comes to YouTube, do I still see myself on YouTube for 5 years? I can't say with certainty. And when it comes to YouTube, in the beginning and still now, I kind of, I went at it as a hobby, and that's definitely what it was. It turned into something much bigger than that, something that I never imagined would ever happen. But with YouTube, the reason why I love doing YouTube so much is because I enjoy it. I love being able to give information, and more than anything, I love the fact that I've had the opportunity to get to know so many of you, even if it's by email or if it's by Instagram or anything like that. But the connections and the relationships that I have made with you guys is something that I never even fathomed would ever happen, but I love every minute of it. You know what I mean? But if that love for doing videos, if the hobby turns into I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to turn on the camera and act a certain way, then that's when I feel I'll end up leaving YouTube, because I've never been one to ever, I can't change my personality for the camera. You know what I mean? I'm not that type of person. I know there's some people that when the camera's on, it's a totally different environment for them. But for me, on or off, you get the same. You know what I mean? You get the same type of crazy. And if that joy from me filming videos, whether it's Minks Monday reviews or any other type of video, goes away, then I can't see myself staying on YouTube. So I don't know if I'll still be on here for 5 more years, I don't know if I'll have anything else to talk about in 5 years. I'm sure you guys are gonna get sick and tired of hearing me. And if that happens, then, it was fun while it lasted. But yeah, for me, it's the joy. For me, it's the relationships and just the connections that I've made that really make it, so I get so excited when it comes to filming. I can't wait to turn on the camera and just be able to share my experiences with you guys. But when that starts to fade away, then there's absolutely no way I can stay on YouTube, because I feel that you'll be able to tell. You'll be able to see it. You know what I mean? You'll see that I'm not happy. And you guys can always tell how excited I get. But as far as, everyday life and where I see myself in 5 years, and like I said, I didn't know, I want to leave a footprint. I want to leave a positive impact. I want to have a positive, I want to leave something positive for the coming generation. I don't know what that is. I want to do something that's going to feed my soul. And I've kind of been talking about this roughly for the last year. And you know, while I love luxury goods and that's all great and things like that, there's so many other things that I want to accomplish. There's so many other things that I want to do in my life. But like I said, I want to leave a footprint. I want something that's just going to I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense or not. But who knows what that is. There's a few things that I'm throwing around that I really want to, be a part of. But yeah, I don't know. So where do I see myself in 5 years? Maybe out of the state. That's the only thing that I could say possibly with certainty. So if it's a possibility, it's not really certain, right? But great question. And I wish I was able to give a little bit more of a, of a real answer, but that's all I got. Sorry about that. All right, next question from Ariella Hall. What are your thoughts on Teddy Blake? Personally, don't think I could ever go in that direction, but I just learned about that option in another vlog today. Great question. When it comes to Teddy Blake, I did have the chance, I think it was now 1.5 or maybe 2 years ago, they approached me to try out one of their bags. I decided to pass on it for a few other reasons. But when it comes to Teddy Blake, it's not for me. But I know that a lot of people are a fan of Teddy Blake because they get to experience what it would be like to have a Birkin or an Hermes handbag. The only difference with that is that you can't really... you wouldn't be able to really compare the quality of Teddy Blake and Hermes. And I know that's always up for debate. There's a lot of people that will disagree with me, and that's fine. But when it comes to Hermes, Hermes is, they do their thing and Teddy Blake does theirs. So I feel that the quality will be, a lot different if you were to experience both handbags. But like I said, if it makes your heart sing, if that's something that you like, then go for it. I know that they are reasonably priced. But for me, I would much rather end up going for a handbag that doesn't necessarily have to mimic another one. I rather have an original design and something that's just kind of, a little bit fun and a little bit out there. But to each their own, and I'm not trying to knock anyone against getting a Teddy Blake or anything like that. But like I said, they are not for me. So hopefully that was able to answer your question. Next question from Aaron S. I've had my eye on a bag from the Louis Vuitton 2017 Cruise Collection since the video of the runway was released. When I saw the bag, I had this feeling like I have to have this bag. My heart was singing so loud I could barely hear myself. So now I have an opportunity to get one. I feel like I'm unsure that I'm going to actually use the bag. It's a runway piece that I feel like might just be too pretty. It might just be too pretty to use. Did you feel like this when you knew you wanted your multicolor Speedy 30? I've always felt that if I'm going to buy a bag, I need to use it. Do I buy it knowing I might not use it because it's so limited, I might miss out and have regrets later? Or do I pass on it because I should really use my bags that I buy? This bag is singing to me, what do I do? This is a fantastic question, and I know exactly what you're talking about because when I was at the boutique at the Champs-Elysees in Paris and I had the Speedy 30 multicolor Blanc in front of me, I totally got, caught up in the moment. I was thinking, oh, I live in Southern California. It's white. It'll look fantastic with patina. This and that. I'll be able to rock it. And then when it came down to it, I couldn't deliver. There was no way. I took it out of the dust bag and then I put it right back in and I'd say, nope, I can't do it. It's too pretty. And even though that bag is no longer in my collection, I did end up selling it. I don't regret it. I don't regret not using it. I don't regret selling it or anything like that because I really got a lot of satisfaction out of owning the bag that really started my love for the fashion house, and that might not make sense to everybody, but the fact that I was able to have it in my collection at one point in time, even though I never used it, just really made me feel a little bit better. You know what I mean? And when it comes to Runway Pieces, what I love about Runway is that they are so unique. They are so limited and not everyone else has them. So I feel that they're kind of conversation starters. If you're out and about and someone sees your bag and they're like, oh, that's a great bag. Who makes it? And you say Louis Vuitton and someone's like, what? Really? No way. So not everyone is going to have that runway piece versus having any other type of handbag or anything like that. So to me, it sounds like this bag is really singing to you. And when it comes to the singing heart, sometimes you just have to get into it. But I will have to say say it is a risk that you have to consider, because you risk not using the bag and having it sit on your shelf, but you might get the satisfaction from owning the bag, and that way you don't have the regret that it kind of slipped through your fingers. Or it might end up causing you to use the bag. You never know. Even though it's pretty, the fact that no one else, I mean, not too many other people are going to have it, really adds to the beauty of the bag. So, you know, that might end up pushing you to rock that handbag. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm helping. I don't know if I'm giving you, if I'm, you know, like I said, if I'm helping to make a decision, but with whichever way you go, it's all a matter of what makes your heart sing. And if you cannot get that bag out of your mind, if you cannot stop thinking about it, and you have the opportunity to get it, then I would say go for it. But that is just those are just my 2 cents, and I'm sure you will follow your heart, whichever whichever decision you end up going for. But hopefully that's able to help. And the last question from Dark0011. I've been wanting a Louis Vuitton bag for some time now. I've been back and forth on what bag to get, but seem to go back to the Neverfull every time. But I can't decide on the print. I love that the Damier Ebene is so carefree, but I'm worried about the stiffness of the straps and whether they will wrinkle and wear funny. I love that the straps on the monogram and Damier look so comfy and aren't stiff, but I'm worried about beauty marks. What are your thoughts / suggestions? Sorry I'm asking another question about this bag. I know you've spoken a lot about your love of the Neverfull. No worries, ask away. I love this question. And I do have some eye candy. Here we have the Neverfull MM in the monogram canvas, and I brought out the Damier Ebene as well. Now for me, there's a few things to look at. With Damier Ebene, like you mentioned, it is very carefree, and it makes my heart sing because it's carefree, and it does have that beautiful red interior. And yes, the leather straps might not be as comfortable. They might end up digging into your shoulder, but I feel that the pros outweigh the cons when it comes to this bag because of the carefree, how carefree it is. Now with the monogram, it is very, very comfortable. It's definitely one of those bags that's very easy to use, just grab and go type of thing. You don't really have to think about it, and you don't have to worry that it's going to be digging into your shoulder. And when it comes to beauty marks, I for one love the beauty marks. I'm not the type of person that ends up treating my handbags. For me, I want my bags to tell a story, and I know that might not be everyone's cup of tea. Some people don't want to see, you know, the patina. They don't want to see any type of wear on it, but I want to be able to enjoy my bags, and I don't want to have to think twice about it. I don't want to have to treat them or anything like that. And when I see those beauty marks, no other bag has the mark that your bag has. You know what I mean? If you were caught in the storm, you will remember where you got that water stain. You will remember where that happened, and that's to me what it's all about. To be able to use the bag without having to really think twice about how it is that you're going to use it. So I love the beauty marks. Like I said, I know a lot of people disagree with me because there are quite a few out there that will end up treating their handbags. But the patina process that it has, the fact that it starts to turn color, especially on the azure and the monogram, when you see the honey golden color up against the monogram, I love the combination of it. So both of them are fantastic. If you live somewhere where you need something that's a little bit more carefree, I would definitely end up going for the Damier Ebene. If you live somewhere where you don't really have to worry about the weather, you don't have a lot of rain, you don't have a lot of snow or anything like that, then I would go for the monogram. But either one, I think that they are fantastic bags, and they each offer something different. So hopefully that was able to help. And I know that I do get a lot of questions on, you know, which print to go for, but all the prints are fantastic. Whether you go for azure, monogram, or Damier Ebene, they are all beautiful in their own ways, and they all offer something different, you know. Damier Azure is just a little bit more of a fresh look. It's something that I end up using the most during spring and summer, even though it is a all-weather type of print. I prefer to use it in the spring and summer, and the monogram is the one that I'll end up using year-round no matter what. And you could also do the same thing with Damier Ebene. So you have a lot of options, but with the Damier again, I feel that the pros outweigh the cons, and with beauty marks, it's all a matter of telling a story with your handbags, and that to me is what I end up going for. So hopefully that was able to help. All right, you guys, so that does it for Minks Monday Q&A. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I was able to help. You guys had some really awesome questions, and I would love to hear your thoughts on, you know, on the topics that we discussed in the comment section down below. As I've said in other videos, there is no right or wrong answer by any means, and I will never take offense if you guys disagree with me. No, because I might not even be thinking of what you guys are thinking, and then it makes sense when I see what you write down. down. But this week, you guys will see me Wednesday and Thursday, if not Wednesday and Friday. I have my updated what's it called, review on the Samorga organizer that I will do next. And for the second video, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. I haven't really decided yet. I have to sit down and kind of go through my list, and hopefully you know, it's a good topic that you guys will enjoy. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already and you would like to, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the red button down below and hitting that bell so you're notified when I upload videos, which is anywhere from 2 to 3 times a week. And I will see you all a little bit later. And as always, make it a fabulous day or not, the choice is yours. Have a great day, you guys.